That's a good looking 4x4. If I can find him tomorrow morning, might have to try and put an arrow in him. Just nice big bodied deer. Pretty sure he's all by himself tonight. It is the night before opening day for archery mule deer here in Wyoming. Yeah, good looking buck. Alright, got all the way hiked in to where I'm gonna hunt. Tomorrow is the opener for archery mule deer and elk here in Wyoming. A lot of recreational hikers on the way in, but hopefully they won't be up here in the high country. Did run into a sow black bear with a couple of cubs on the way in, and I managed to turn up one of the bucks I scouted. He's across from me right now, about a half-mile away. So hopefully he's still around come morning. See what I can find. So I had this little 6x6 bull come walk right out of the bottom of the drainage I was glassing above, and he ended up walking by at about 120 yards away from me. Now, I had an elk tag and elk season was open, but I kind of wanted to save my tag for rifle season, which was later, and I had a hunt with a buddy all planned out. So yeah, it would have had to been a really nice bull elk in order for me to go after him with my bow. This is actually likely the same sow with cubs that I saw on the hike in last night. Looks like she actually has 3 cubs, not just 2. But very neat. All brown, color phase black bears. Alright, finally found a good buck to go after. Unfortunately, it's almost 6 p.m., so we'll see if he stays bedded. If not, maybe I can catch him when he's up feeding over there. He's probably just under a mile away, so better get going. But yeah, he looks like a great buck to get with the bow. Hopefully I can catch him over there. Well, that's the end of that stalk. At my closest, I got to about 90 yards. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he heard me above him up in this crunchy, drier brush. And yeah, he's at about 300 right now. Beautiful buck, though. A lot of fun, excellent stalk. Wish it could have been a little bit closer and I could have got a shot. But that's how it goes sometimes. Maybe I'll find him tomorrow. Who knows? Alright, found my first buck of the morning. He's decent 3x4, but probably not gonna go after him unless he beds in like a perfect spot. He is one of the bucks I saw while scouting this summer, So hopefully one of the bigger ones that he was hanging out with shows up. We'll see what happens. Alright, got a decent 5x4 buck bedded. He's about a half mile away. He's actually on the way out. I need to go, so I'm gonna pack up my camp and get over there, and I'll have to loop way around and come in above. The buck I saw this morning, he ended up going up and over the ridge into some really thick stuff, and I couldn't figure out where he bedded. But this is a little bit better buck than him even, so yeah, I need to go over there and see if I can get above him and do a nice little stalk down, drop right in on him. I do think there might be another buck there because I saw some movement to the right of him, but I'm not sure. But we'll go see if I can make it happen. Well, the stalk did not work out. Got to 34 yards, and I think he caught movement from the top of my head. The wind was good. I don't know what else could have happened. Didn't make any sounds that would have alerted him. But I think he just caught the top of my head as I was trying to sneak around. Anyways, that bed by the log right there, that's where he was when I first spotted him. And then this bed right here is where he was when I did the stalk. I was coming from right back there. Yeah, right through those trees, 34 yards. So that's archery hunting, I guess. It's pretty tough, but it's pretty exciting to get within range of a pretty good buck. Found a neat little tiger salamander on the hike in. Didn't realize they lived this high elevation, but pretty neat. I'm back here in Wyoming doing some more archery mule deer hunting. Got hiked in the dark last night. This morning I was set up glassing the basin on the other side of the ridge I'm camped on. And right at first light I turned up a buck and a doe. But right after that, another hunter came up on the opposite ridge. And as soon as he came over the crest of it, his scent came right down and spooked that buck and the doe. They took off running, and yeah, they went way down into the dark timber. Probably not going to see them again today. Well, anyways, I'm going to eat a little lunch and then go work some of these ridges and see if I can't do some glassing and turn up some bedded bucks. Alright, I didn't end up having any action at all yesterday afternoon or evening, but this morning, first thing I was able to turn back up that nice 4x4 that got spooked yesterday morning. So he's with a smaller buck and looks like a doe and a fawn. Hopefully I'll be able to put them to bed and make a stalk. See how it goes. got one of the deer I can see bedded down there. The thermals have stabilized and are going uphill now. So I'm going to go over there and see if I can't get in above them. I ranged it from here, and where I can get into a clump of trees, but right by there should be about 60 yards away from these deer where they should be bedded. I can only see the one smaller buck right now, but I'm sure that big one's still in there. So, alright. Well, I just had that big buck blow out of his bed and run away about 45 yards down below me. Didn't even know he was there. But I was trying to look down and get a little bit different angles to see if I could spot part of the bedded deer. And yeah, he must have just seen or heard something that he didn't like. And then yeah, just took off. Yeah, well, that's the end of that stalk. Should have just, right when I got here, I should have just sat and just waited for a couple hours on the edge of this opening. I waited probably a good half hour, but I should have just waited longer. He'd have probably got out of his bed and just fed right in front of me. Guess that's the way it goes, archery mule deer sometimes. Alright, well, didn't see any more deer tonight after the one I bumped on that stalk. I did turn up one black bear. It looked like a pretty good bear, but he was about 1.5 miles away, and it was right before dark, so no chance of getting over there. I do have a bear tag if the opportunity presents itself, but yeah, I saw one hunter up on that ridge, but yeah, no deer, no elk. We'll see what tomorrow brings. Alright, found a buck this morning. It's the same buck that I saw the very evening before season last weekend. So hopefully I can get an idea of where he's gonna bed. And then yeah, put a stalk on him later this morning. Well, I did also manage to find the same group of deer I saw yesterday morning. That same big buck I busted yesterday afternoon. It's funny because they're on the exact same ridge that they were yesterday morning. So I do not think he winded me. I think he just heard or saw me. Probably just heard me. So that might explain why he didn't go very far. On the first buck I saw this morning, he went up and over the top, so I'm not sure where he ended up. But yeah, I'm gonna watch this buck instead. He's a much better buck. Hopefully they bed and do exactly what they did yesterday, because I have some ideas on how I can play it a little bit better. Well, I just sent an arrow at that really big buck. It looked like he came out of his bed and started walking down the hill, and I'd ranged it before, and so the way my sight was set, I knew I'd have to hold a little high, and it looked like I held probably 4 inches over his back because he walked out further down than I anticipated, and it looked like my arrow went just under him. Sounded like it hit a rock. But I'll give it a little bit, put my boots back on, and then yeah, go over there and see if I can find my arrow. There's my arrow. Looks like it was indeed low. Clean miss. good. Guess that's what I get for shooting such a heavy broadhead. Well, that's the end of archery mule deer season for this year for me. Got 3 total stalks on that big 4x4 between last weekend and this weekend. So rifle season opens next weekend, so hopefully I can find them again. I do think I have them patterned pretty well. So yeah, I'm gonna get my camp all packed up and hike out hopefully before this rain gets here. Looks like it's coming quick. Well, I'm back here in Wyoming to hunt mule deer. Tomorrow is the opener for rifle in this unit. So I got hiked in, and this is the spot I'm gonna camp tonight up on this ridge. The moon is really bright tonight, so the deer will probably be out feeding. Yeah, at the trailhead there were no other hunters, so hopefully no one hikes in early. We'll see if I can find that big buck again tomorrow morning. See how it goes. Alright, it is opening morning of Wyoming rifle deer season. I found the buck I've been chasing all of archery season. He's right back in the same patch of timber where he's usually been bedding. So I'll watch him, wait for the thermals to stabilize, and then go down and set up on him. Yeah, he seems to be all by himself. I haven't seen any other deer yet. So I don't think there's any other hunters that have a view to where he's at right now, which is good. We'll see how it goes. So what just happened is that deer, he must have been bedded over to my right, and I heard him snorting, and eventually after a little bit he ran out and ran across and was like in the very bottom of that drainage right there, and I was able to get a shot from sitting with my Model 17 Eddystone, and it was 259. I'd ranged it before and knew it was around 250. It wasn't going to be past 300 because I don't really want to shoot past 300 with this. But yeah, I was able to get steady, held on him, and yeah, he's piled up dead over there. So it's really quick and really exciting. Wow. Alright. Looks like he is right there. Oh, beautiful buck. Wow. Definitely by far the biggest buck I've shot from mule deer. Right over there on that hill is where I shot him from. So yeah, I sat there for a couple hours, and yeah, Wind must have changed, and he was bedded on the left side in the timber. And yeah, he was snorting, and then he ran out over here, just right up there, and that's about where he was when I shot him. And yeah, he just ran right over here and piled right up. Well, it is hot out, so we got some work to do. Well, I'm super happy with this amazing buck. Thank you, Mr. Deer. Yeah, it was an incredible season in Wyoming this year. Yeah, I stalked this. This was the 4th stalk on this buck. 3 during archery season and 1 with a rifle. Only needed 1 day with a rifle, but yeah, I was heartbroken last weekend when I shot just under him with my bow. But yeah, it's just a beautiful buck, and I'm so happy. Alright, well, I better get to cutting. It is hot out. He's already stiffening up. Yeah, just what a beautiful deer. Alright, I got all the meat quartered up, boned out, got it all in game bags, and got the head skinned out, all in my pack. About halfway up, I have 1,000 vertical feet to get out of this hole where he was living. About halfway up. But yeah, once I get to the top, I'll load up my bivvy camp, and it's all downhill from there, back to the truck. Just packing up camp. Alright, got everything in the pack. It's gonna be a heavy load. Time to start hiking out.